You're going to play in the rain at some point. Last time I played in a charity event at Willamette Valley last fall, and it was damp, drizzly, sort of like it is this weekend. Not pouring down. But those are different conditions. But it's going to be wet. You got to play in it. You put your money in. You don't want to give it back. But use this weekend. Maybe you don't want to go out and play 18, but get out there, put the rain gear on, practice on the range, practice in the rough is probably where you need to do it the most. Around the greens, how that wet, damp rough affects your shots. Use it to your advantage. It's not going to be cold, so you should be able to get out there also on the putting green. So we'll get Jared's thoughts on how to prepare when you know the weather is going to be foul and how the rain affects what's going on around the golf course. Get his thoughts there. And then they have a huge event coming up this summer out there at Astoria Golf and Country Club. He'll tell you a little bit more about that. They're adding a junior segment to it. And if you have or know of a junior golfer that's quite advanced, might be an opportunity for them to play in a special event. So we got that going on. Kind of an off week with the tours, but preparing for majors coming up. You still have 2 ongoing winning streaks, both on the LPGA and the PGA Tour. Rory finally wins a tour event. Even though it's a team event, I think this could propel him. We'll discuss those things as well. So plenty on the docket, but as always, we start by going inside the ropes.
It's time for an insider's look at the leaderboards, the latest on all tours, plus local golf events and golf news. This is Inside the Ropes, part of Golf in the Northwest.
Just a couple of tours in action that we're following this week, but so we'll start going back. The LPGA has a week off. They finished up their West Coast swing, and they are heading to the East Coast here for the next several tournaments. But we have the second multiple winner on the LPGA Tour as Nelly Korda took the week off after 4 straight weeks, 4 straight victories, including a major, first major of the season. But Hannah Green winning the JM Eagle LA Championship at Wilshire Country Club. She defended her title there, so that's back-to-back wins. She's won twice this season. And in just 6 events, 2 wins, 4 cuts made. She jumps up to 3rd in the points list on the race to the CME Globe, which is their equivalent to the FedEx Cup. And so her first tournament win was 2019 here in Portland. And so she appears to be a player that could pose issues to Nelly Korda. Now, Nelly is in the field next week for the Cognizant Founders Cup. And they will be back in New Jersey, so we will see if she can keep it going. She's won 5 straight starts. She won for 4 straight weeks. If she wins a 6th, that will be the all-time LPGA record. So just needed a week off. I think it's understandable. You're in the hunt every week, week after week. It just kind of drains you. You just need to recharge the batteries. Easier to do it last week and then work your way out to the East Coast with all of the travel. Korn Ferry Tour is off for a couple of weeks, but great story going on there. Last week, Tim Wieding from Sweden won back-to-back tournaments. So he's got 2. He jumps to number 1 in the points list. Anybody that's won twice, back-to-back, I think it was done 13 times previously, by 12 different guys. Back-to-back winners have always, in that season, secured their PGA Tour card. So the 26-year-old played his college golf at the University of San Francisco down in the Bay, but grew up in Sweden, grew up a hockey player, Nicholas Lidstrom, who is his favorite athlete of all time. But he's got back-to-back wins now, taking a few weeks off. Resides down there in California, but he's a great story. One of those long, lanky players that we see now, 6'1", $175, hits it a mile, but back-to-back wins after winning last week, and he is one of those next up-and-coming players that will be on the PGA Tour. Might get there sooner. Obviously, the Battlefield promotion, if he wins a 3rd event on tour sometime this season, he will get an automatic promotion immediately to PGA Tour status. Champions Tour is They are in, where are they? They're in Texas as well. The Woodlands, just outside of Houston for the Insperity Invitational. Y.E. Yang on the course this morning. Actually, they're finishing up round one. Weather in the area. Y.E. Yang at 7 under par. He's got a 3-shot lead over Jaidi Tongchai. And then Charlie Wee, Marco Dawson among those 4 back at 3 under par. So Y.E. Yang trying to put a little distance between himself and the field. The PGA Tour this week, also in Texas, the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. They are playing TPC Craig Ranch. It is a birdie fest. It has been, since it has come on tour, one of the lowest scoring events on tour. And another great story. It's not a signature event. Jordan Spieth was the highest ranked player coming in at 20th, did not make the cut. That's a different discussion altogether. But Jake Knapp, who's a rookie on tour, won for the first time. He won the event in Mexico a couple of months ago, looking to get his second win on tour. 30-year-old. This is a guy that was lost his Korn Ferry Tour card about 3 years ago. He was having to get back on the Canadian Tour, playing mini tours, and then he was moonlighting as a bouncer at a nightclub down in Costa Mesa, California, while he was practicing, and fought his way back, won 3 times on the McKenzie Tour, the Canada Tour, got his Korn Ferry Tour card back, finished 13th last season, made his way onto the PGA Tour, and it's just a delight. It's just a different sort of personality than a lot of the guys we're used to seeing on the PGA Tour. Loves to work out and hits it a mile, but now he's got the short game and the putter dialed in. Back-to-back 64s. He is at 14 under par. Troy Merritt, after a 62 in round 2, gets to 13 under, looking for his first win in a number of years. He's tied with the Englishman Matt Wallace. Patton Kizzire at 11 under. A few back. He's on the course this morning, 4 under through 5. So you can see conditions ripe for going low. So, and these events are kind of fun, as we saw with Rory and Shane Lowry last weekend. Zach Johnson, the Ryder Cup captain in the field. He's 9 under, getting set to tee off here shortly. And another great story in the field, 16-year-old Chris Kim got a sponsor's exemption from the CJ Cup. He is an amateur, and his mom played on the LPGA Tour several years ago, became his swing coach from the time he was 5, and he made the cut at 7 under par. And so 16-year-old, he's the 5th youngest player in PGA Tour history to make a cut. And so one of the featured players here in the morning session up on ESPN. So 10 a.m. Golf Channel will pick up coverage, and then at noon CBS will take you home on the weekend. So the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. Next week, it is a signature event, so you'll see all the top players. Don't expect Scotty Scheffler there. He is still back home enjoying the birth of his first child. With his wife. He's not expected to play until the PGA Championship in a couple more weeks at Valhalla in Louisville, Kentucky. And we'll see if the time off and the change in his life and the addition to his family will affect him as he tries to keep his streak going. 5 straight events that he has won, including the major at the Masters, and following it up the next week at the RBC. So pretty amazing stuff. We'll see how the time off and all the changes will affect him. But we mentioned last week on the PGA Tour is the Zurich Classic, the one-team event on tour. And so Rory McIlroy, Shane Lowry getting the win 25 under par. They beat Chad Ramey and Martin Traynor in a playoff. For Rory, it's his first win since last year's Scottish Open. He's got 25 wins on tour now. They still count the team wins as a full win. I don't want to get into the weeds with the argument that it shouldn't count the same, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? He's on the PGA Tour. He won an event. We'll hear from him when we come back because I want to talk about kind of the majors coming up. Scotty Scheffler and Nelly Corda. Which one of those? I put a poll question up at 1080thefan.com. and at FanSwag. Who do you think keeps their streak going longer? Now, we're going to have to wait a little bit to find out because Nelly's playing this week. Scotty's not going to play for a few weeks, but who between Scotty and Nelly you think keeps that streak going longer? You can vote there on the fan website and at FanSwag. But I think this victory did more for Rory McIlroy than a individual victory, and I think it's because he was playing with his longtime buddy Shane Lowry, and he was just having a good time down in the Bayou. We'll talk more about that. Jared Lambert out there, head pro at the Astoria Golf and Country Club, going to join us for the business of golf coming up at 8:30 as well. Just getting started here. It's Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Looking to step up your Mother's Day flowers? The Home Depot has an idea. Let Mom's Green Thumb do some digging with colorful flowers, pots, and premium soils to bring out the most in her patios, walkways, and gardens. Right now, get Vigoro potting soil just $8.97 for strong, healthy, vibrant plants, indoors and outside. Shop our wide selection online and pick up your order in-store and give Mom the gift of a beautiful garden. Get Vigoro potting soil just $8.97 at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. See homedepot.com/delivery for details.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion? Never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4.
The good folks at Wendy's have a revolutionary new product for you. Introducing the new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. It's like a time machine that takes you all the way back to now, the year 2024. It's the classic creamy, orangey flavor you remember. Dare I say, it's new-timey. It's the flavor you grew up with, just all grown up. Head over to your local Wendy's establishment and get yours while supplies last. The new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. Here for the now, for now.
Limited time only at participating Wendy's.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This is Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
Jason Swigard back here with you. Golf in the Northwest coming up tonight. Well, this afternoon, 3:30. It'll be NBA playoffs, game 1 of the second round series between the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. Weather permitting, we'll have a doubleheader of Oregon Ducks baseball over on 910 ESPN Portland. Yesterday's game getting rained out, scheduled to start at 10:45 as they take on conference-leading Utah. Just a few more weeks before the Pac-12 baseball tournament, the final one there. It'll be the final, I think that's the last Pac-12 officially sanctioned sporting event. We've already had the Pac-12 golf tournaments. We'll update you. The Oregon men and women are in the NCAA regionals. We'll have a shout-out for them a little bit later. But are you ready? Having played, now, did you play in the Pac-12 or the Pac-10?
I played in both.
Oh, you were there for the expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Nostalgia? Shedding a tear? Or just
for what?
The Pac-12 is no more.
Oh, I don't shed a tear for any of it. And this is a golf show, so I'll spare you the larger discussion.
Well, I understand. But
yeah, but I am actually quite disenchanted by
college sports as a whole.
College football.
Yeah.
And there's a very heavy side to me leaning like, I don't know how much I want to watch next year. I'll watch the Oregon games because I do a show and I need to. But there's a big part of me that's like, maybe I'll just keep watching baseball and then tune out until the NFL starts.
Start watching more golf, my friend.
I'm not there yet.
Oh.
Not yet.
Well,
maybe.
The guy that hasn't been there for a while finally got there in the winner's circle, Rory McIlroy, over last weekend. With his good buddy Shane Lowry, they win the Zurich Classic, which is the team event. He hadn't won since the Scottish Open last year. Hadn't won on U.S. soil for quite some time. And even more than just seeing him play well, he had a top 10 at the Valero Texas Open before the Masters. And so that was his first top 10 of the season. I think his game is rounding into shape, but even more, I think he has shed the burden. He was the most outspoken player due to his position on the player advisory board of the whole LIV PGA Tour schism, and he got stabbed in the back by Jay Monahan, who then decided to, well, if you can't beat him, join him, and was talking to the Saudis behind everybody's back that nobody knew about. He felt totally burned. I think he's finally shed all that. He's done with it. And the most important thing was that you saw him smile. He was having fun. How important it was for him to be on a team with Shane Lowry, who loves to have a good time, who he grew up with over there in Northern Ireland, who he's known forever. They were joking, and they just let it rip and have a good time. And this might serve him well as much as anything. And he talked about that in his post-round championship press conference. Just hear how lightened to the mood he is.
To win any PGA Tour event is very cool, but to do it with one of your closest friends, and we've known each other for a long time, probably like over 20 years. So to think about where we met and where we've come from to be on this stage and do this together, really cool journey that we've been a part of, and just awesome to be able to do it alongside this man.
There's a lot of relief, pure enjoyment, and I think it's going to serve him well. I don't know about Valhalla for the PGA, but if he plays well at Wells Fargo in a couple of weeks in the signature event and continues to develop some momentum, they're playing Pinehurst #2 for the U.S. Open, and then he's on Royal Troon for the British Open. I think he's going to win one of those. I don't know. I don't know when he's going to win a Masters, if he's ever going to win the Career Slam. I think that place is in his head a little bit still. But I think Rory is going to win a major this year. I think he might be the guy that disrupts or puts on pause the Scotty Scheffler year of years. And it's great to see because the game needs him on the first page of leaderboards as much as possible, building momentum, and I think it will all culminate next year, 2025. The Ryder Cup is going to be played at Bethpage Black, which could be an all-time scene. It'll be so much fun to see a Ryder Cup played on that course, what they will do to it. The crowds in New York are going to be amped up for that with the Ryder Cup. They're going to have to make sure everybody's under control, but it'll be raucous. It'll be loud. Rory will love it. If I could figure out how to get there, I would, because I think that's going to be a special environment. But I think this victory will serve Rory for kind of a rebirth, a push to the top. He's going to start winning again. And I think the game of golf overall, especially the PGA Tour, they need something to draw in some numbers, because as dominant as Scotty is, we all know his personality not a lot of sizzle to it. He will tell you that himself. And while his play is spectacular and people that love golf will tune in to see if he can keep that mastery up, you need a little personality, and Rory provides that, and it's been missing on tour. So hopefully that will continue. We talked about Scotty and Nelly Korda, their dominance. Both of them have won their last 5 starts on their respective tours, taking time off. Nelly is back at it this week. They're playing the Cognizant Founders Cup, so it should be a great field as they honor the 13 founding members of the LPGA tournament. This is an event that is very personal to all the players on the tour. They can go, they can pay their respects. They learn more about it. There's a lot of other stuff behind the scenes development for the women, putting them in contacts and networking for endorsement opportunities and other sorts of business opportunities as well. But they will be back in New Jersey, I believe it is. And we'll see if she can keep it up. I think Nelly's more likely to keep it going than Scotty. I don't know how you can take 3 or 4 weeks off, show up at a major event as your next one on the docket and keep it going. But I will say if Scotty can get back to a regular, if he's able to pull that off, that's Tiger-like right there. And he might be able to keep it going. Nelly's more likely to have the loose round where she just makes some doubles, does some stuff. She's a little bit more happy-go-lucky than Scotty is, but she's also more likely to just steamroll people and go, because when she gets on a roll and starts just flushing it, she's able to give herself just easy looks, birdieing all the par 5s. She's been great touch around the green lately with her short game. So it'll be interesting to see. I hope they can keep it going at least for a little bit. I'd like to see somebody get to 7 or 8 and do something wild to draw attention to both tours. As you know, we're in that weird time of year for sports fans where you got NBA, NHL playoffs, the NFL just had its draft, so it's kind of off, and you have other events. We're going to have an Olympic year. I think that's a bigger deal for the women than the men. But you see Hannah Green, it's very important to her. A lot of the Asian players, extremely important for them to make the Olympics. And so they want to be in Paris in late July, early August, whenever they're doing that. And so we're seeing a lot more of them playing a lot more events. Hopefully all of this will start to get the focus back onto the tours and the golf itself, rather than what we've been mired in for the last several months, wondering when LIV and PGA are going to figure their crap out and all get on the same page. I think for most part, until something gets announced that clarifies everything, everybody understands. You're starting to see the LIV players starting to show more regrets. Their stuff isn't really as relevant as they were hoping it was going to be. There's more talk of them going to more 72-hole events, making it more legitimate. Maybe that draws some eyeballs or gets them closer to getting official World Golf Ranking points. I don't know. But there's nothing that says this is going to be over anytime soon. So just some thoughts on kind of the state of the tours and some of the top players there. When we come back, time to talk the business of golf. Our friend Jared Lambert, the head pro out at the Astoria Golf and Country Club, returns to the show. He is getting set to defend his title at the Oregon PGA Chapter Championship on Monday down at Willamette Valley. So we'll ask him about his preparation. We know the weather's going to be a little iffy, a little damp, how he goes about preparing there. Plus, Astoria getting ready to host a huge event this summer. They're adding to it some opportunities for some top junior golfers to get involved. He'll tell you about that as well. We make the turn. It's Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
Auto accident? Need a loaner today? Call Lafe's Auto Collision Centers. We can get you into a replacement vehicle as early as today. At Lafe's, we work with all insurance companies. We process your claim fast, repair your vehicle to pre-loss, bill direct, and get you back on the road hassle-free. Need your vehicle picked up? Call Lafe's and we'll send out one of our fleet flatbed trucks to your home or office anywhere in the Northwest. Lafe's Auto Collision, the industry leader for 33 years, locally owned, the finest in collision repair.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At Progressive, we know how much you love your recreational vehicles, so we decided to record this commercial in an RV.
With a family on vacation.
Mom, who are these people?
Oh, that's Flo and Jamie. They're recording a commercial, sweetie.
Don't they do that in the studio?
Normally.
No.
But we wanted to feature a family who bundled their home and RV and saved with Progressive.
Yeah, it looks like you're all out of chips.
Okay, I think we'll just drop you off at the next gas station.
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Did you know the law requires insurance companies to pay you 100% of your auto claim in cash? At Leif's, we're here to help you do just that. It's your money. Thinking about cashing out, a partial repair, or for many, a pre-loss repair? We're on your side. Remember, it's your money, but to settle your claim 100%, you'll need a professional. Insurers will not settle your claim correctly without a pro working for you. Custom services, deduct assist, loaners, pickup and delivery. Leif's, we're always on your side.
Which new driver is best for your game? Who makes the best golf gear? Where should you take your next golf vacation? Which local course should you get to know better? This is the Business of Golf, every week on Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
Sinner and Saint following us at 9 o'clock this morning here on The Fan. Then it's NBA playoffs coming up at 3:30 this afternoon. Nuggets and Timberwolves game 1. But now it is time for the Business of Golf. Pleased to have returning to the show the head pro at Astoria Golf and Country Club, the 2023 OPGA Player of the Year, and last year's chapter champion, winning that in a playoff. Won the first event of your tournament season at Tualatin Country Club last month, and getting set to defend your championship on Monday down at Willamette Valley Country Club. He is none other than Jared Lambert. Quite an impressive resume there. Are we feeling it tournament ready to go in the rain down in Canby this Monday, I believe?
Well, first, thanks for having me on again, Jason. Yeah, it's great to be on here. And thanks again for your wonderful research. You continue to blow me away with the introduction there, so I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, we are in the full swing of the season. We've got the chapter championship coming up this Monday. I am feeling pretty good about my game. It's not you never feel 100% ready. You know, your game is never exactly where you want it to be, but certainly I feel ready to put a couple good rounds together and try to compete as best I can.
Well, we know I played in an event at Willamette Valley last fall, and it was damp, drizzly, just like the conditions look like they're going to be for you on Monday. It's still, Grothy down there and his crew keeps it in great shape, so very playable. But knowing that this weekend you're going to have the rain, how much do you take advantage to prepare for those conditions? And people might, getting ready for their club championships or whatever, might not be thrilled about going out and playing 18, but it's not too cold. It's not pouring. You always want to take advantage. One, put the rain gear on, what it's like to swing with all that extra gear on, but especially around the rough and the greens and understanding how your ball and how your swing's going to change in the elements.
Yeah, the game is absolutely going to change. The wet rough is going to react quite a bit differently than dry rough, and chip shots around the green are going to skip out a bit more on those first couple hops. And so you have to be able to prepare for that. And I think the easiest thing that the average player can do is pay attention in these adverse conditions. I guess the first step of that is playing every once in a while in some adverse conditions, which I know can be tough to muster up every so often, but it can help a lot. And when you're preparing for tournaments, and if you are a competitive golfer, it's super important to be able to play in all types of weather conditions, particularly when we're up here in Oregon. As we know, we can experience rain, 9-10 months out of the year. So you got to be ready for all types of weather. What will you spend the most time with in your final, kind of tune up here? Yeah. Amongst all your other duties there at Astoria. And it's funny because
you guys are able to maintain a certain level to your play despite you guys work for a living. You're not playing golf all the time, practicing all the time. So I think it's a good barometer for guys that have regular jobs and other things, but are avid low handicap players. What are you going to focus on in the next couple of days most so that you feel like you got a good handle on?
Yeah, for me, this has nothing to do with the weather, but I need to get my driver squared away, so I'll spend some time focused on that, just making sure that the ball's in play, especially at Willamette Valley, because if you're in the fairway, it helps you out a lot there. But around the greens, for me, is going to be where I spend a lot of my final preparation. So, again, thinking about how the ball is going to respond once it hits the green. It's going to take a couple of skips. It's going to run out further than you expect, and then I'm going to need to get used to playing out of wet sand as well. So practicing those wet sand conditions and making sure that when I do miss the green, I can save par and keep the momentum going.
Chatting here with Jared Lambert, PGA head pro at Astoria Golf and Country Club, getting set to defend his title at the OPGA Chapter Championship on Monday. For people that don't play in a lot of wet weather, eventually you will at some point if you're here in the Northwest, whether it's a charity event or your club championship, whatever. How does water on the club face affect, a swing normally, whether it's a full swing? More importantly, also on the greens, we see everybody, wiping the putter head, try to keep water. But if water invariably gets in the way at impact, how does that affect what the golf ball is going to do?
So it's going to affect it's going to affect direction, and it's going to affect spin rates in various ways depending on what club you're using. So your distances are going to be different, and that's why it's super important for players to keep their club faces dry. So water on the club face is just like anything else that you're going to have in between the golf ball and the club face at impact. If there's grass in there, if there's sand or dirt, it's going to affect spin rate, and it's going to affect direction off of impact. And so water is going to do the same thing, and the effect might not be quite as big as if there was a clump of grass there, but it is going to make a difference. And, if you're hitting to a tight pin location, then, those 4 or 5 yards of extra carry or less carry, depending on what happens, could be pretty big.
Now, the other piece is you're going to have more stuff with you. How many gloves will you take for a round? Extra towels. Obviously, we know keeping the grips dry is crucial there. How much extra equipment will you put in the bag in order to get through a wet round?
Yeah, good question. I'll have probably 3 gloves with me, and my job mainly is to try to keep everything that I have dry. I'll use an umbrella. I will have my nicest rain gear on. I will try to walk unless it's really windy, and I found that walking makes it a lot easier to stay dry because you can just stay huddled under the umbrella. And if when you're in a cart and you're driving around, depending on which side you're parked on, if the breeze is coming a certain way, you might get water all over your seat. It's also a lot easier to stay warmer when you're walking, and so you can kind of put your gloves up by the top of the umbrella and keep them dry up there. Hang your towels up there, and the most important thing for sure is to just make sure that the stuff that you do have is dry. But yeah, I'll carry a couple extra gloves with me, an extra towel for sure, and cover up the clubs. Make sure that the water doesn't run down from the club heads down into the grips, and try to keep everything as dry as possible during the whole day.
As far as rain gear goes, who do you think makes the best stuff? What do you like when it comes to rain gear? Because obviously, 1, you want to stay dry, but 2, you don't want it so inflexible that you can't move or it inhibits your swing.
Yeah, absolutely. So FootJoy makes awesome rain gear that is very thin, which I like a lot. Their highest end rain gear that they make is super thin, super easy to swing in, and that helps. It helps breathe a lot. It helps you breathe a lot too when it's that thin. So, we've all had the experience of having rain gear that's like suffocating, that works too well almost, and so you're sweating in your rain gear, and it feels like you're still wet anyways because nothing can get out. And so, yeah, I found that the FootJoy rain gear that I have is easy to swing in, breathable, and it keeps water out. Most importantly.
Fantastic. Chatting here with Jared Lambert, the head PGA pro at Astoria Golf and Country Club. Now, in addition to all the competitive tournaments that go on for the PGA pros here in the chapter, you're also putting on an event, Astoria, the 113th Oregon Coast Invitational. That's coming up in July. Now, it is an invitational. It's a full week, but you guys are adding a junior element this year. Maybe explain a little bit about how this tournament, some of the history of the tournament, who does get invited if there are, amateurs, how you guys go about finding players to fill the field, and then also the junior tournament that you're adding this year.
Yeah, so the Oregon Coast Invitational, as you mentioned, 113 years. It's a very long-running tournament that's been here at the Coast. It was held at Gearhart Golf Links in its early days and has been here at Astoria for around the last 70 years or so. Last year we had 409 players, so it is a large event that is a ton of fun. It's very family-focused. We have a ton of cases of folks from different generations that have, grandfathers and fathers and sons that all come out at the same time. We have 8 different divisions for all types of different ages. And so historically, we've offered divisions for anybody 18 and up. This year, we're adding a division for juniors as well. So 8 to 17 is kind of the age that we're putting on that. The format is flighted match play. So everybody plays a qualifying round, and then you get flighted into various brackets depending on what you shoot. So the lowest scores of each flight are going to play against each other, and they'll play single elimination until there's only one person left. And so what happens is, you end up playing against folks of similar ability and similar age, and it's just something that's been, a very, very important part of people's golf journey and family life here at the Coast for over 100 years now.
And so how do you get, I guess the question is for people that have some game, can do this, how do you get on the list? Who do you need to know?
Yeah. So we take, it is an invitational, but you can request an invitation by going to our website at astoriagolf.com. You're going to go to the top right of our webpage, and it's going to say Oregon Coast Invitational. You click on that, and there's a little form that you fill out with just your name, address, and email, and we'll send off a link to sign up. You put in your info to sign up, and then we'll review it, and then we'll let you know whether you're in or not. And if you're, but to be honest, most people that sign up are going to get in, so I wouldn't say to worry about it too much.
Fantastic. And then for the juniors, I know you're kind of limiting the fields there for parents. Maybe at what level of skill should parents know that their children can play? One, because Astoria Golf Country Club, it's not the easiest track to get around, so you need to have a level of skill, but just so that they'll enjoy it and not feel frustrated by going out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a crazy standard of play. If there's a junior out there that's able to shoot somewhere around, let's say, probably 50 or better, then they would be more than capable of competing. Again, the nice part about the format of the tournament is that you end up playing against folks of similar ability. So the junior division is going to be held after all of the other play has teed off, so it's in the afternoon. It's 9 holes of qualifying on Sunday, and then we're going to do flights of 4 players, and there will be 2 9-hole matches held on Monday and Tuesday. And so the winners of the 4-person flight bracket will play in their championship match, and the other players will play in their consolation match. And so everybody's guaranteed to play 3 rounds. It'll be 9 holes, and we're really looking forward to it. We are limiting it to 32 juniors just to see how it goes. And depending on what kind of response we get, we may expand the field on that side in future years.
There you go. AstoriaGolf.com is where you can find all the information. It looks like it's just an outstanding event in time. Full week, July 20th through the 27th. But May 1st is when non-members can apply for registration there. Obviously, members will be considered first. I would imagine most members are playing in this event unless they're out of town for some reason. But and it's one of the gems, golf gems on the Oregon coast. And so now, so a lot of work being done. First things first, though, who do you think is your stiffest competition going to be on Monday?
Oh, boy. Man, what a question. Put me on the spot here. Hunter Westcott's been playing fabulous golf. I think he's won 4 of our last 5 Pro-Ams. He's probably something like 30 under par in that stretch. I mean, he shot 64 last week. I think he shot another 66 or something crazy at Elk Ridge. And so he's really turning on the heat, and he's going to be very difficult to beat, I know. Colin Inglis, of course, is our perennial, always got to watch out for him, kind of big time player. He's qualified for 2 PGA championships in the last 3 years and has represented himself very well at the national level. And so he's always somebody that you got to watch out for. Jesse Heinley is somebody that I've been competing against since we were 14 years old, and he was beating my butt for most of it. But fortunately, I've closed the gap a little bit. And so those 3 guys are always kind of the ones that are on my radar the most. And certainly, I'm sure there's some other names that I'm missing that I'm probably going to get texts from after this that are upset.
Well, yeah, Colin Scott Erdman just got back from the PGA National Club Championship. Unfortunately, they didn't make the cut. Conditions out there in Frisco, I guess, were just insane. But yeah, we're getting to that point. There's the 20 players that made it. There'll be 21 this year because Michael Block, of course, last year at the PGA put on a show and he earned his qualification. So when you get to the PGA championship, look out for those 20 club pros, and you'll find out they are representative of the club pros all over the country, including here in the Oregon chapter, of just how good and quality golf you guys play. In addition to all of the other functions that you serve for our golf courses here in Oregon. Jared Lambert, head pro out at Astoria Golf and Country Club. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Best of luck on Monday. Hopefully the elements aren't too ridiculous and you guys go out there and play well and have fun.
Thanks, Jason. I really appreciate it.
There you go. Jared Lambert, our guest. Yeah, you mentioned shout out Scott Erdman from Oswego Lake Country Club, Colin Inglis from down there in Cresswell, representing the Oregon chapter at the recent PGA Club Professionals National Championship. It is from there they select the top 20 finishers that will get spots in the PGA Championship at Valhalla in Kentucky in a few weeks. And then Michael Block will be the 21st. So Ben Pollard is your winner out of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So he is the medalist, and he will get also, I believe he gets 6 exemptions. I'll have to double check my work, but yeah, 6 PGA exemptions. So he'll be playing in some PGA tournaments as well. So congratulations to all of them. Encourage you to, if you're not doing it, if you're in the area Monday, head on out. Meet some of them. Watch how they prep. Watch what they work on. If you're looking at how to develop your pre-round routine, your warm-ups, those sort of things, because they're much more like those of us that hold down regular jobs and have families and all that stuff. They don't have as much time to practice and prep as you might think they would. We'll come back. Some final thoughts, some shout-outs as we mentioned. Want to wrap up some things that we discussed on previous shows this season and look ahead to the weekend finish out there at the CJ Cup as we come down the stretch here. It's Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
Hey, I'm Brett Podolsky, co-founder of The Farmer's Dog. We make fresh food for dogs. We started the company when we saw what a huge difference it made in my own dog, Jada, when she stopped eating ultra-processed kibble and started eating fresh, whole food. The Farmer's Dog food isn't fancy. It's just real food delivered to your door in pre-portioned packs. It's better for them and easier for you.
Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/radio. That's thefarmersdog.com/radio.
Hurry! Time's running out to shop spring savings at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to spring into deals on the appliances you need. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select LG major appliances. Because Lowe's knows spring savings. Offers valid through 5/15. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Hey guys. Don't be that dad without life insurance. When thanks to Ethos, you can be that great dad with life insurance to help keep his family living exactly like they do now. secure and protected in the event of the unexpected. With a fast and easy online experience, some policies as low as $1 a day and up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam, just a few health questions. Ethos makes getting life insurance protection hassle-free. E for easy, E for ethos at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
This is Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
Jason Swigart back here with you. Thanks again to Jared Lambert from Astoria Golf and Country Club for joining us. Good luck to him and all the pros competing in the Oregon Chapter Championship on Monday at Willamette Valley Country Club. Want to remind you that Autotown GMC does present the 10th annual Fan Golf Classic at Langdon Farms Golf Club coming up Thursday, July 7th. There will be a morning and an afternoon round to choose from. At that point in the summer, it's on a Thursday, so if you can get into that morning round, you never know. In July, it could get hot. You will enjoy the unique fan golf experience you've come to expect, the usual array of food and beverages. Make sure you warm up for your round on the Michelob Ultra driving range. Dirt and Sprague, Danny Dusty, Prime Time with Isaac and Suk will all be broadcasting live from the course. And once again, this year, your favorite fan hosts. I'll be out there at some point hanging out on that notorious par 3 6th hole. We'll impart our golfing wisdom. We might even take a tee shot for you. That one is brought to you by Dewar's Scotch, the 10th annual Fan Golf Classic. Sure to fill up fast. Sign your foursome up now. 1080thefan.com. Should be loads of fun. Always is. Who knows? There might be more things to add at various points. But, yeah, we'll all be out there at some point. Hopefully, the weather's been great the last couple of years, so hopefully it continues to be kind to us. You worry about getting into July and a little bit of heat. Want to thank everybody. If you heard it here, the Rounds for Research auction that ended, but doing some quick math, David Phipps out there who represents the Northwest for the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America and the Oregon chapter, raised over $15,000. It looks like initially from everybody that bid on rounds, thanks to the golf courses that put up foursomes, including Bandon Dunes, the Portland Golf Club, Oswego Lake Country Club, Bend Country Club. Langdon put up, I believe, Persimmon as well. So everybody that posted rounds, but over $15,000 raised there. That will go back into their foundation. They're talking about, if you heard David a few weeks ago with us, trying to fund a second full-time position down there at the turf management program at Oregon State University. It goes into all of those sorts of things. So how to better manage the turf, and being more environmentally friendly with the sorts of things they use to keep, rather than harmful chemicals and the pesticides, how do they find things that are a little bit more environmentally friendly, how to better conserve water for the management of golf courses, all of those sorts of things. We mentioned the University of Oregon has placed both their men's and women's golf teams in the NCAA regional fields. They will both be heading south. The women are the 3 seed at the Auburn Regional. That'll be at the Auburn University Club, hosted by Auburn University. They are the 3 seed. South Carolina is the number 1 seed in that region. And those will be starting on Monday, so Monday through Wednesday. And I believe Golf Channel will have some coverage of these regional events. And then for the men, they are the 4th seed. They are in the Baton Rouge Regional down there, LSU hosting that. Auburn is the number 1 seed in their region with Virginia, Texas Tech, Duke, Ohio State, and LSU. So congratulations to both the Ducks men and women's golf teams trying to make their way to the NCAA National Tournament. That'll be later on in the month. The men are playing at La Costa Resort and Spa in Carlsbad, California. And the women will be there as well the week before. So Golf Channel will have continuing coverage, and appreciate Golf Channel much more. They are spending time dedicating programming to college golf. you can see who the next up and coming stars are coming out of the college golf program. Well, we're getting down to it. Just the CJ Cup, the Byron Nelson, wrapping up this weekend. They're going low. Patton Kizzire, 5 under through 8. He's to 12 under out there early on the course. Everybody chasing. What a great story. And Jake Knapp, the rookie on tour, got a win earlier. He has a one-shot lead at 14 under par over Troy Merritt and Matt Wallace. This a tune-up. You'll hear about the Aon Swing 5. That's going on. So getting into next week's Wells Fargo. So that is guys that aren't already qualified for the signature events, the top 5 players in the events leading up to this, which started at the Punta Cana Championship, the Zurich Classic, this event. They'll earn spots. So right now it's Billy Horschel, Matt Wallace, Troy Merritt, Chad Ramey, and Kelly Kraft. Who would project to get spots in next week's Wells Fargo Championship. That will be a signature event. Should have everybody back other than, I think, Scotty Scheffler, who's still off with the birth of their first child. So should be a lot of fun. Again, coverage kicks in at 10 a.m. and on the Golf Channel. And then it'll be noon, I think, on CBS has it at noon this afternoon. They will have it as well on Sunday for the final round coverage. We'll turn it over to Sinner and Saint coming up next. And next week, I think we're going to talk to the chapter champion of the event as the OPGA chapter. We'll hear from the winner, how they did it, how to go about getting prepared for some tournament golf. Again, hit us up at the Vancouver Ford text line. If you're interested in golf courses for us to research for the buddy trip, more resort golf places, whether it's close by, whether it's a plane ride away, happy to start diving into hunting some of these places down, how to put a golf buddy trip together. Thanks to Jared Lambert from Astoria Golf and Country Club. Again, AstoriaGolf.com for information on the Oregon Coast Invitational. Thanks as always to Will Darkins. We'll turn it over. Luke Anderson is up next with Sinner and Saint. Until next Saturday, I'm Jason. Hit 'em straight.
Did they find my ball? You have an idea of how hard it's blowing.
Well, they always call swag the reach around here.
Sergio Garcia, the Spanish rat, squishy, not making it so penal for players. Yeah, you're more suck your finger and stick it in the wind and see what's going.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure I left the ball below the hole.
You know how easy I am.
Yeah, I know.
Peaches in Europe.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance.